I want to find the limit as x approaches negative infinity of 3e to the 5x minus e to the x minus 7e to the negative 4x all over 2e to 3x minus 6e negative 2x plus 5e to negative 3x. The first thing I'm going to do here is to identify which one is the most dominant term in the denominator. I'm going to ignore the coefficients because those don't really matter. So the candidates are e to the 3x, e to the negative 2x, e to the negative 3x. For now, I'm going to ignore the negative. I'm going to look at which one has the biggest exponent. Because the higher the exponent is, the bigger, the more dominant the term becomes. So we have 3, 2, and 3. Obviously, the 3's are bigger, so it comes down to e to the 3x and e to the negative 3x. Which one is more dominant as x approaches negative infinity? E to the 3x is going to look like something like that. And that approaches 0 as x approaches negative infinity. And e to the negative 3x is like this, which approaches positive infinity. So in the long run, e to the negative 3x is bigger. So what we're going to do now is divide everything by e to the negative 3x. So divide by e to the negative 3x, which is really the same thing as dividing 1 over e to the 3x, which is really multiplying by e to the 3x. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by e to the 3x. So I have my limit as x approaches negative infinity. I'm going to distribute out the e to the 3x. So I'm going to have 3. E to the 5x times e to the 3x is e to the 8x minus e to the x times e to the 3x is e to the 4x minus 7. E to the negative 4x times e to the 3x is e to the negative x. And the bottom, we have 2 times e to the 6x minus 6 times e to the x plus 5 times e to the 0, which is just 1. So we'll leave that as just 5. Okay, and now we can plug it in. So let's say as x approaches negative infinity, if I have something that's e to the positive kx, so here we'll say k is positive, that is going to go to 0. Because we know it's going to have this form, and as you're approaching negative infinity, this thing's approaching 0. So anything with a positive exponent is going to 0. So now we have a negative 7 e to the negative x over 5. So 5 doesn't really matter, so we'll look at the negative 7 e to the negative x. That's going to be something like this. And as x approaches negative infinity, y also approaches negative infinity. So this thing approaches negative infinity, and you have 5 in the denominator, so this whole thing should go to negative infinity.